I want to know, do you think my mother is a psychopath? I'm really confused about something. This confusion happened recently after spending an evening with my mother for the first time in a couple of years. I am a female in my mid-30s. For your information, I'm also pregnant. I was recently visiting home for a special occasion. I drove a long way from out of state to come and visit my mother for the holidays. I even canceled a separate invitation from my cousin so I could see her. For context, when I left my home city, I told my mother explicitly that she is welcome in my life. I told her that she would have to make the effort to see me if she wanted to. But since I left home, she has not called me even once, and it has now been a couple of years. I moved to a state that is prone to natural disasters, and during this time she has not even bothered to reach out about my safety, even when extreme weather has taken place. I find this kind of odd. Growing up, I tried to sympathize with her because she was a single mother, but in my opinion, I was neglected when I was a child as I could not rely on her for emotional support. In a way, I was forced into adulthood long before I was an adult, but when I was younger, I guess I didn't really understand the reasons why our relationship had to be this way. Now I'm starting to understand why I felt the way I did. Keep in mind, I didn't really resent her while I was growing up. In fact, I kind of felt sorry for her in my mind. It was like she was the one that didn't have any support, and that she was the one who was always tired. I did my best to not be a burden to her. I guess she made me believe that I was personally responsible for her not being able to live a full life. I tried to always be helpful and to be a very low-maintenance daughter. I was there to comfort her when she was feeling down, and in a way I was a support system for her. I tried really hard to get her to love me and to be close to me. I feel like I was always trying to make her proud of me and to make her love me. In the end, I hope she would eventually come around and love me. Now back to last night's dinner with my family. This dinner was very disturbing. I guess I observed my mother with a new set of eyes, and the things I saw disturbed me, and I am unable to shake them. The dinner gave me insight into who she really is as a person, the kind of insight I did not have when I was a child. It was very peculiar. It was not that she was trying to be a good host. It was that the way she spoke seemed very manufactured and very insincere. It was almost like she was an actress reading a script. She did not let the conversation flow naturally. She always seems to guide the conversation back to her. When a new topic of conversation came up, she did not try to ask more follow-up questions to learn more about the other member of the family. She always seemed to redirect the conversation so that she would be the center of attention. I felt like I was watching an actress performing a role, and despite how much she talked, there was no real emotional connection with everybody. It was all very performative. Whenever there was an opportunity to provide personal insight or to be a genuine and emotional person, she did not take advantage of that opportunity. She did not talk to us like she was a regular, sincere person. The whole thing was very forced and theatrical. The way she spoke was very glib and very superficial. Watching this display made me sick to my stomach. So, it is with this new set of eyes that I think I finally see my mother for what she is. I don't think she's capable of loving us in the way that I know love. When I look back at the way she mothered us, I can recall now that it seems to be just an act that she did when other people were watching, and once the other people left, this loving behavior seemed to disappear. In retrospect, she has a kind of interpersonal coldness. I don't think we've ever really connected. The connection has likely all been in my mind. In a way, she was an emotional vampire, draining me of all my emotions and all my love and all my energy. Now I realize when I left home, she had no reason to keep pretending anymore. The mask she wore, the one that sometimes made her appear to be a normal mom, disappeared. After this dinner, I realized that her personality might have severely impacted me in ways I'm only starting to understand. If she is emotionally empty, then this is a disturbing fact to comprehend. My own idea of what love is jaded, and for that reason, when I look back at all of the relationships I've ever had, I know now that I kept picking people with the wrong characteristics. I picked people who were abusive, people who were emotionally distant, and people who would use me. I thought that if I really worked on each relationship, and if I really worked hard enough, that I could build an enduring love. These beliefs started with my mother. So I want to know, what in the world is wrong with her? I don't mean this as an attack on her. I genuinely want to know. I'd like to understand what kind of disorder or impairment I am witnessing. In my opinion, she is extremely self-centered. All of her emotional responses are superficial. She has no close friendships, and she does not genuinely care about what is going on with other people. She does not care, or does not seem to be worried about, the inner experience of others. When it comes to interacting with others, I feel like she needs to maintain full control of the interactions. All attention needs to be on her. And as I mentioned earlier, whenever she was parenting, I feel that she only turned into a good mom when others were watching. If she is not the focus of attention, she gets bored very easily. Whenever there's not an audience around to listen to her talk, she seems to lose interest and does not care. In my opinion, she does not seem to be genuinely happy. She does not appear to be warm. When she does something wrong, she does not show any sense of remorse. Another family member who is in the medical field remarked to me once that they thought my mother was a narcissist. However, what I saw last night seemed to be even worse than that. What I saw was someone who was really a shell of a person. So now I'm wondering if she's a psychopath or a sociopath. Last night was so outrageous. I felt that she was mimicking normal behavior and did not show a shred of individual, unique, sincere personality. There was a disconnect with what was going on and real human emotions, and I can't believe that this is the first time in my life that I'm becoming aware of this. Ever since last night's dinner, I feel like I've been going down a rabbit hole trying to understand what category she fits into. Is this psychopathy? Is this sociopathy? Is this narcissism? Or could it be something else? What can make a person so empty? What makes a person unable to bond with others? No, I'm not necessarily trying to diagnose her. I'm trying to understand so I could learn to deal with her. There's a big question mark in my life. I'm trying to make sense of the exact behaviors that I saw last night. I find it quite bothersome. I believe now that my mother does not love me in a traditional sense. I believe she only pretends to love me by acting in a way that she thinks conveys a loving attitude. Thanks for listening. If you have any comments or ideas about my experience, please list them below.